Craig Yace out of Corona, California, and Scott Benson. How you guys doing?
Another day in paradise, my friend. Another day in
That's it.
paradise. Beautiful sunny day. Looking out, I see some ocean. I see clear sky.
That's
Oh,
it.
man.
Well, let me
That's
tell you,
nice.
in Las Vegas, everybody complains about how hot it is. This morning, 29 degrees.
Yeah.
Oh.
So there's ice frozen over the gutters. I had to put my snow chains on to drive my kid to school. That's how serious this is. I had to switch into four-wheel drive. That's how crazy it is.
Hey,
So,
but how's your gas bill?
It's we like to go in the hot tub every day, so my gas bill's horrible.
$700 last month.
That's what my
Normally
gas bill
80
was?
to 120.
What are we talking, car or are we talking hot tub? What are we talking about?
A hot tub.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
no, it's horrible. It's horrible.
Yeah.
And guys, before we get the show started, I would be remiss if I didn't wish my beautiful wife a happy birthday today.
I saw that. Happy birthday.
Yes.
hey, thank you for wishing me a happy birthday, Ted. I appreciate it.
Oh,
Now, as our tradition continues, three interesting things, and we have to identify who it is. Number one,
All right.
one of us almost going to brawl with a senior citizen because of his hair. Not me.
is that Scott? I see that hair. Hey, by the way, I'm working on that hair. Look at this.
It's coming in, man. It's looking
All right.
good.
Number two, one of us was a drug dealer. And number three, one of us was a producer on a Broadway show.
Woo! All right, man.
That is some diversity right there.
I'm excited to hear all of these. I got to tell you, this is great.
And guys,
I think I can guess them all.
I gotta tell you one thing. If you're gonna make anywhere home, make Corona home. Craig, how's Corona doing today?
Corona's great, man. The market is strong. We have a lot of homes on the market, so it's good for buyers, but it's still good for sellers. I mean, if the house looks good, it's gone. It's gone like that.
It's like that.
Yep.
Well,
It's like 2021 all over again.
It can be.
I got to tell you, Ted, Craig and I have been working with one client that's looking for a property to add an ADU to in kind of the Riverside. Well, he's kind of broadened his look, right? And,
He just told me he wants to go to Bakersfield, so I don't know. We'll see.
oh my God. All right. Well, so his look has gotten very broad.
There's a great truck stop there.
Hey, I have a funny story about Bakersfield when you're done, Scott.
All right. Well, mine is quick. I just want everybody to know offers going in, multiple offers. We're like in a competitive environment, and as they say, hand grenades and horseshoes is the only time to be close. I understand our last bid, we were in second place, but that's no good. So we're still working with the guy. We got to find him a home. But I think that's good news for sellers, but it's still not as crazy as it was. So it's just interesting for everybody to know what's going on in the market from that perspective, I think.
Hey, by the way, our bid was 65,000 over asking price. Now, they were priced under market. To try and get bids like that, but it worked, man. It worked. That's what the REO market did. That's what the banks did back in 2000, 8, 9 through 11, 12. They'd be 30, 40, 50,000 under the actual market value, and they got multiple offers and pushed the price up $30,000, $40,000, $50,000.
No, it's smart because you know what? It gets everybody to look really hard at the property because they know it's undervalued, supposedly, right, in the market, right? It works. It moves properties quick. So,
and the other thing is, if you're not paying attention to rates, you still think that the rates are out of control, and they're not. I mean, we're looking at low fives right now, even for a jumbo. We can get an FHA down in the fours. I mean, rates have really significantly come down. So is inflation. So, this is the time. It's always the time to buy a house. But I mean, if you were waiting for the rates are already improved significantly. And again, we go back to the old adage of negotiate the 2-1 buy down, or even do it at a lender paid and get it yourself and buy yourself that 2-year window to get even a more aggressive rate to transition between rent and paying a mortgage, and you're good. But you got to come strong. The days of waiting are over.
Hey, in 1994, my mom got an adjustable rate mortgage because that was the best thing for her at the time. It was interest only, adjustable, 11.9%. And the cap on the adjustable was 15.9.
Amazing.
Man.
So it's always the right time to buy a house, right?
Always the right time.
Well, yeah, and then look at what that house is worth now versus her buy price, right?
Gosh,
ridiculous.
800, 900,000. She paid 170, 180 for it. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So Craig,
yeah,
you know I like to wow you every show we have with an amazing loan program, right?
Oh yeah.
I like to blow your hair back. I like to blow you away. So we have a program that we call the cake loan.
Cake
Why
loan.
do we call it the cake? Because you can have your cake and you can eat it too, Craig. That's what you can do with this loan program. Ted, what are you talking about? That doesn't make any sense. Why are we talking about cake? Right?
Because you get a side of cake with the loan. Is that what it is?
I'm going to indulge you. Well, if you get a loan from me, I'll get you a cake. Yes.
Okay, cool.
As long as it's under like $25, whatever the limit is. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's get serious.
All right. Tell us.
You may have, not in your market, but there may be a market where you have a seller that's trying to sell their home to buy a new home. They're obviously going to buy a new home. They're going to get out of the one they're in, right? And maybe their house is sitting 60, 90 days. Maybe they put a contingent offer. Maybe it was accepted, but they can't sell their house and they're going to lose their offer. Maybe they lose their down payment. Depends how it's structured, right? What can they do? Well, we have a magic product.
The cake loan.
We have a cake loan. We do a cash out refi that gets the deposit, the equity out to get the deposit, and we close on the new home. Now your sellers, now your buyers have bought their dream home. They're into their new home. But Ted, they're going to have two payments. They're not going to have two payments. Ted, when they qualify, they're going to qualify in their DTI with two different mortgages. How are they going to qualify? They're not going to have to. One loan.
It's kind of like a construction loan where you don't start paying on it until. Is that what it is?
So the beauty of it is, your interest is accrued and paid off when you actually sell the house. So they'll let you, and you have to do it with one lender. So it's kind of a two-step process. But they'll let you do a cash out refi up to 70% loan to value of your current home. So it's not for everybody, but if you got your home, 3, 4, 5 years ago, you got a lot of equity. I know I do. And you take that equity up to 70% of the current value. You reposition that equity into the home you're buying. You close on that home. You move into that home, and you continue to sell your home.
Which is great because right now, sellers don't want to take a contingent offer. They don't want to take an offer when the buyer has a house to sell and they know how long it took for them to get the offer. I told you the market's good as long as the house is looking good and priced right. We're seeing homes sell in 3 days, but if it's not positioned well, it's still taking 60 days, 90 days.
It depends on the market because, in Las Vegas, it's taking longer than that. And again, it depends on the price, but depending on the market, this is a lifesaver. I could take somebody that maybe they had an opportunity for a job opportunity somewhere else. They had to relocate. Okay, but that job doesn't necessarily come with a relocation package. Mm-hmm. What do? They got to buy a house. They're going to rent their house, but they need their equity. Maybe they need a runway. Maybe they're starting a business. There's all these different scenarios. This solves it for a lot of people. And it gets you busy, Craig, because it now allows you to go help get transaction by buying the home.
Right? Just making notes.
And the other thing it really helps with, because we all know people that love to look at homes, right? There is a subgroup of buyers that will go out every weekend for 3 years looking at homes, right? And they're looking for that perfect home. And they end up doing it on their own because nobody can spend that much time with them, right? So they go out, and I've got a relative that did exactly that, right? Finally, they find this perfect home that they want. But they of course haven't put their home on the market because they're too damn picky, right? So they don't want to do it till they've got the home picked out. This is the product for that kind of scenario.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not only that. What if you've been eyeing this house or you're eyeing the market and a very unique opportunity pops on the market? And it's once, oh my God, my neighbor's house, I've been looking at that. They had that huge backyard, that pool that I've wanted. Oh, I want to buy it. Oh, but you got to sell yours. Right? This allows you to take advantage of those opportunities. Because right now, this is, and depending on where you're at, this is very much a buyer's market, and there could be some great opportunities to take advantage of. This takes the handcuffs off. Craig, it allows you to, I called you Cake. Craig, this allows you to have your cake and eat it too.
So Craig, Ted, I got a question for you. Really important question.
Away. Yes.
So I want this loan. I'm in dire need, and I'm going to do it.
Yep.
How long do I have to sell my home, Ted?
Well, they give you a year at the fixed rate that you're in, and then if you don't sell it, the rate's going to adjust to a higher rate. So, in theory, with the rate that we lock you in, it's 12 months.
You know what you forgot to say with that answer?
Tell me.
Glad you asked.
I was worried you're going to say
curve, and I got nothing.
I you know what? In my mind, you were going to say, Ted, I had one question. Why are you so damn red? Because I'm looking at myself. I'm like, did I get sunburned? Is this weird? It looks like I went snow skiing and the sun just melted my face. It's the shirt. I don't know what it is.
So you're under an infrared light. I'm under some kind of, I don't know, orangey kind of light. And Scott's got like this natural light coming, bouncing off the sea in through his windows. And it's like a perfect natural light.
Well, you know what he normally does, Craig, when we do these calls? And I'm disappointed in him right now. I really am, Scott. He normally puts a little fan on the bottom so his hair will have a little breeze and just flies through there.
Fabio, baby.
I'm telling you.
I'm going to show you my Fabio pictures.
Uh-oh. You got pictures with Fabio?
No.
Craig, now, in all seriousness, we're friends. We're friends on Facebook, so that makes it official, right? Mm-hmm. And I want to say I have a lot of admiration for you. I see the stuff you do in your community, and I just wanted you to share a little bit. I know you do a lot with your church, and you've been doing a lot of good things. Share with the audience so they can get to know Craig Yace as a person and what you do for the community.
Well, yeah, most of the work that I do is through my church. We do a lot of every week, every Saturday, we feed the homeless and folks who are feeling the pinch because of these prices right now. So we actually have, I think we've passed out 300 boxes of food every Saturday. And there's only a couple of Saturdays that we'll miss, like if there's a major holiday or something like that. But
it's all through donations from different, your members putting money in, or is it from different,
actually,
where's the food coming from?
Yeah, we get donations from, and this is great because, a lot of food banks or food ministries, they've got garbage food. We go to Sprouts. Sprouts provides a lot of great food for us. Vons. We have quality food there. I'm telling you, Saturday I was putting these boxes together, and I'm like, oh my gosh, these guys have great meals. There's some awesome stuff in there.
Wow. So if somebody wanted to take advantage of this and they need the help, do they go to your church to receive a food box, or how do they take advantage of that?
Yeah, so every Saturday we do it from 9 to 10, I think. People actually start lining up at like 7 a.m. It's crazy. The church that I'm at is the Inland Vineyard. It's part of a group of vineyard churches. It's funny, I got married in a vineyard church, and it was in Anaheim Hills. And one of my coworkers was invited. She goes, wait a minute. We didn't serve any alcohol or anything. She goes, this is a vineyard and there's not even wine?
Right.
Things have changed now. I do drink wine, but anyway, so yeah.
Well, I want to bring attention to it, Craig. I thought it's a great thing. You're helping the community and it's real. This is something you do all the time. I see it every week. And I just thought, you know what? We're going to talk about that. And the other thing, we do
two events a year too. I just want to plug this because these are feel-good events. We've got kids that join us, and we invite our children's ministry in to try and help too. And so from 6, 7 years up to 20, but twice a year we'll do what we call King's Banquet. And of course we know who the king is. But we serve the community, and for Christmas we passed out 700 gifts to kids who might not get any gifts or would have less gifts than many other people. And we'll do the same thing right around Easter, but we serve food rather than gifts.
That's tremendous.
That's very cool.
It's awesome. It's a lot of fun.
No, that's great. And the other thing I want our audience members to know is that Craig is a real realtor. He's a full-time, I've been doing this for 20 years, realtor that knows the ins and outs of the market, knows the ins and outs of where he lives and what he does. There's a lot of people that can get the realtor title. They can go take the test, but they're not a lot of them are a full-time realtor really gets it. Craig's a real realtor, guys. So if you're looking to buy or sell a home, Craig definitely knows what he's doing. It's the guy you want on your team. I mean, we've had, since we've been working together, several transactions come up because Craig is out there doing it each and every day. In this slower market, no, Craig's a full-time realtor. He's doing his thing. So
well, and everybody always says really positive things about working with Craig too. So it's multiple fronts. It's been great partner, and we love we know that anybody that we send Craig's way is going to be dealt with in a great way. So that's awesome.
Oh, come on. Oh, gosh.
Now the bad news, Craig. No kidding.
Hey, and by the way, I learned a lot from a guy that he's no longer a realtor, but he's doing what he loves. And it's so funny because as we were going through the crash in 2008, and I didn't have any experience except for like good markets.
Yeah.
I had this guy giving me nuggets of like huge nuggets of information, and I listened to him and I researched, and a lot of it just helped me like be level during that time. Like right now, people are like losing their minds,
right,
and thinking that the market's going to crash like crazy, and it's just not, and so anyway, Ray has given me quite a lot of info, and it really helps me educate my clients too, so they know how to ride things out. And they also know, look, in Southern California, houses double every 10 years.
That's it.
Double every 10 years. So when's a good time, like you said, Ted, when's a good time to buy? Now. So you can get that appreciation.
The other thing is that people don't realize is that when you're in a rental situation, your rate is going up every year. You're not locked in. So if we're in an inflationary period and we lock in a mortgage rate, your payment's staying the same. Where if you're paying rent, it's going up every year. So you actually want to buy now and lock it in, regardless if it's at 5, 6, 7%. It doesn't matter because it's going to be fixed there with that later protection. And again, it's in the 5s right now, 4s, FHA. So it is absolutely time to buy, and no reason not to.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, and the other thing I think is a great time for people to do too is look at ADUs and consider that when they're buying a home. I think it's a great time to look at throwing an ADU on your house because, there's a ADU grant program for up to 40 grand from Cal HFA. It's on hold right now, but supposedly it's coming back in 90 days. But that's like 40 grand of found money to get an ADU done. Add an ADU on a property, you get a nice rental income, and it can go towards that base home price that that people can get into. So there's so much opportunity to do well in this market, and then obviously that adds to the value of the overall home too. So,
and for the people that don't know, an ADU is an accessory dwelling unit. So that it just means you convert a garage into another dwelling unit. And the interesting thing about ADUs, most cities, if you can build, prior to California allowing ADUs to be built practically anywhere, prior to that, you could not put a kitchen in a second dwelling on your property. But with the ADU allowance, you can.
That's great. Yeah, and this is very specific to regions. I mean, California is very progressive, but I know like in Boca Raton, can't do it. They're like, heck no, you put an ADU in your backyard. We don't want to see that thing.
Right.
Even though it'd be a nice, beautiful casita, it doesn't matter. They don't allow it.
No, they want you to have a yacht in your backyard. That's what they want.
I want to be there owning that yacht.
Right.
Craig, tell us something cool, interesting about Corona.
Oh, okay. So we know that Corona was established, I think we talked about this before, 1896, I believe, 101 years before I graduated high school. No, I'm sorry.
Math on that.
No, 96 years.
And one thing before you tell your story, you're going to appreciate this. Literally the day you told us about your racetrack thing, We had a client, a mutual client, Scott and I, that we did a presentation for, and I think he went to high school in Corona. And I used your story about oh yeah, do you know they had a racetrack there? I used your story, so it was, of all things, it came into play. So finish your story. 1897.
That's so funny. That's so funny. I'm sorry. I think it was 1886. So that would have been 1 year before I graduated high school. I'm not 101 years old, but I'm close. I'm halfway there. All right. So prior to that, there were 2 Indian tribes that lived in Corona for many, many years. One lived by the Prado Dam, which is down off Green River in the 91, which is a landmark. Actually, the Prado Dam is a landmark for many people. The other lived primarily by Temescal Canyon because there was a water source there too. So Prado Dam has a water source, Temescal Canyon, and they went down into Temecula actually. But down off Temescal Canyon, when after the Spanish settlers came in, they found this natural hot spring, and they created what's it called? Gosh, I can't remember what it's called right now. Thanks. Anyway, there's a hot spring down there that famous people for years and years and years have been coming to Corona for. And it's not even incorporated into Corona, but it's it's close enough that they do that. Spend 3 hours there. If you are a resident of Corona, I can help you buy a house here. You get a discount going to the hot springs there too. It's it'll come to you. But
just anyway, another reason to make Corona home, right, Craig?
Another reason to make Corona home. Oh, and by the way, next week we're going to talk about famous people who live in Corona, okay? Or have lived in Corona.
Great. I love it.
So we know Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz, right? We have those two. Who was the other one that you mentioned before? There was one more person you told us.
No, it's got to be. He's got to leave it. It's got to leave us in suspense.
You told us before. It's already on. I'm going to rewind the show. I'll be right back, guys. No,
did I tell you before?
You told us about Lucille Ball.
Yeah.
And Desi Arnaz.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll look forward to the famous people. We'll do that. We'll do that every week. I don't know how many weeks you can keep it up, but we'll at least do it for a week or two.
Okay.
Scott, tell us something cool.
Glen Ivy Hot Springs. Glen Ivy Hot Springs. There you go.
Yeah. Glen Ivy Hot Springs. There you go. Is that all the minerals and all that?
Yep. All that stuff. And of course, Lucille Ball spent a lot of time there.
Are you a regular? Are you a regular there?
Actually, I've not enjoyed it.
I bet you've never been.
Just because it for me, it's kind of, I don't know. For me, it was weird. I had never had a massage until about 1.5 years ago, and I'm like, well, I should go to Glen Ivy. They do massages and the mud packs and the whole everything there.
Craig, when I ask you before we do our show, tell me something interesting about you.
Yeah.
The thing that you said, I could have started with, one of us has never had a massage till we were 49 years old. That would have been a good one to use, just so you know.
All right. We'll use that on another show.
All right. So Hot Springs sounds amazing. I want to do it. I think we all go to the Hot Springs and we come visit you in Corona. We'll use your discount if we can as a guest. And then Scott, what are we doing if we come visit you?
Well, I thought maybe we do something a little different this time. So, if you've ever been to a T-bars sometimes are really stuffy, it's really old school, it's not cool.
What's T-bar?
I don't even know what a T-bar is, Scott. I'm sorry.
Oh, well, see, there you go, because they're too stuffy and too uncool for somebody like yourself. That's why you've never been.
Of course,
right?
Of course.
So in Redondo, going upstream against that path, there is a place called Racer T-Bar. And Racer T-Bar has all of these, badass, amazing teas that are really, really wonderful. But it also plays great rock music. They've got electric guitars all along the wall. It's kind of dark. It's kind of set up more like a bar, like you're going up to the bar when you get your drink. And it's just a cool place with a very, very different vibe that, if you want to go hang out with some friends and do something and you want to have a cocktail, but not the alcohol in a cocktail, but you want to have something kind of tasty, good, and different, it's a great place to go. Then you can walk around down the Riviera, and then you can always go to my favorite place from there, which is a block and a half down. sit on the boardwalk and watch the porpoises go by on the ocean, man. Very
Cool.
fun to spend a day.
Always pulls out that ocean card. I swear, man.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And the ocean. He pulls it out, and then Trump, he wins, right? Well, Scott, I'm going to share another pizza place with you because we know I'm a pizza fanatic.
Yes. Please
and you know, it's interesting coming from Sacramento, of all places. There's a restaurant here called Pizza Rock. There's actually two of them. One of them is in downtown on Fremont Street, which I don't like to go to that one. The other one's at Green Valley Ranch in Henderson. Pizza Rock, the founder, I'm going to butcher his last name, is Tony Giamatti. World champion pizza.
I think you did it right.
Yeah, okay. He was actually did an appearance on the show Billions, where he made Axel.
Oh, yeah. I saw him.
He made a pizza for him, right?
Yeah.
So he's famous. And the pizza there, I got to tell you, I think it was New Year's Eve, we went there. I had the grandma-style pepperoni. The next day, I ordered another one, and I cannot stop. I bought 5 of them in the last month, and you can DoorDash it. I mean, it's crazy how good their grandma. And that's not even the world champion. The world champion is his margarita, where they do it at like I don't know, 15 degrees, and it cooks in 90 seconds. It's amazing. But the first Pizza Rock was in Sacramento, where I came from. And
is that right?
It is, yeah. And they had a big semi coming through the ceiling, like a big semi, and they would have a DJ booth in there, and you could get honk the horn. And so they had the similar theme at both of them. They have the semi theme coming through, full semis, like mounted right in there.
That's cool. Very cool.
So, did you follow them or did they follow you?
So fortunately enough, they opened up prior to me moving here. So if I miss home just a little bit, I can go have Pizza Rock and I can remember. And the thing is, when COVID happened, Pizza Rock in Sacramento closed down, never reopened. So,
oh wow!
I mean, if I ever doubted my decision on moving to Vegas,
there you go.
Right, pizza speaks for itself. Pizza Rock is here.
I was jonesing for pizza the other day. I have to. I told you I'd tell you this story early in today's live stream. Yes, I have to come back to it. I just have to.
Okay.
By the way, I was stuck in Carmageddon in Corona. We had the 91 freeway shut down. I was stuck in the Costco parking lot for 3 hours. Ooh. One of those hours was because I tried to go around Costco. I thought that'd be the quickest way to go, and it just cost me an hour of like driving around. I got like 10 car lengths. Anyway, that was after visiting Lazy Dog, which is, it's a chain store, right? But
sure.
We've got our favorite server there. Favorite server probably of all time. Her name's Hannah. So if you're ever in Corona and you go to Lazy Dog, ask for Hannah. She's amazing. But first time she served us, she's young and cute. She's got this little southern drawl, and and I said, "Hey, where are you from?" She goes, "What, honey?" I said, "Where are you from?" She goes, "Oh, Bakersfield." I'm like, "Bakersfield?" A southern drawl in Bakersfield.
What?
And now our client Daniel wants to buy a house with an ADU in Bakersfield. Yeah. So maybe we'll make that happen.
You know how you close them? Take them to the dog with Hannah.
Yeah, introduce them to Hannah.
Yeah. Get that warm, that warm southern drawl. Yeah, of course.
That southern drawl. That's right.
That's the move. Okay. A couple things. I don't do this a good enough job at this. If you want to get a hold of Scott and I, you want to get a home loan, realestatemortgageinsiders.com. We have all of our blog is on there. You can, of course, apply for a loan. Anything you need to find regarding us is at the website, realestatemortgageinsiders.com. For Craig, it's makecoronahome.com, right?
Yep.
If you make any more home, makecoronahome.com.
That's right.
Now,
there we go.
Everybody's been waiting since we started the show for me to reveal the big secrets here. So, first one, the drug dealer was me. Out of college, I worked for Eli Lilly Pharmaceuticals, and I used to sell Prozac.
Well, I thought if anybody was a drug dealer, it was probably you.
Yeah. Well, the guy that wanted to fight an elderly man was Craig Yace.
Yeah. I didn't want to fight him. If you want the story, let me know. I'll tell you the story. But go ahead to.
Well, no, you got to know why you got the brawl.
You got to know. Tell the story. I want to hear it.
All right. So we know that I wanted a tri-hawk, right? 3 Mohawks. Yes. Prior to getting talked out of that, I went in and sat in a chair, and somebody put what they call Liberty spikes. So we got spikes going everywhere. Kind of looked like a mine under the water, right? In fact, I saw a picture of somebody else the other day. I'm like, oh man, those are perfect. But anyway, so I'm driving, going to a punk rock show. I couldn't sit up straight because the hair is like 18 inches. I'm driving like this, and this guy's honking at me, flips me off. I'm like, what the heck? I didn't cut anybody off. I hadn't changed lanes. He was mad, I surmised, because of my haircut. And I thought, now, I'm like 17 years old, right? I could pull over and fight the guy and maybe I get my butt kicked, and that would be stupid. I'd look like a total
probably be a better story to tell, but go ahead.
Well, and then I realized he's probably like 80 years old. So if I fought him and I kicked his butt, that wouldn't be good either. So I just left it alone.
There's no win. There's no win there. Yeah.
No. Just kept on driving. Enjoyed the show.
Broadway producer, tell us.
Well, that would be me. So for those of people that don't know, I started and ran a CG company that we made photorealistic car commercials, and we won a bunch of awards, and we even were up for an Emmy. And so I did a lot of media stuff, but one of the things I was involved with was Rock of Ages. And if you have not seen that as a Broadway show, it's absolutely fantastic. It's a great one. It's fun. It's not your typical deal. And the other thing I like about it, no matter where they have it, one of the deals that they have when they show Rock of Ages is that you will have cocktails available to you while you're watching. Servers will come through. So it's a great place. As a matter of fact, there's a knockoff of Rock of Ages called the Bourbon Room, which my buddy Scott Prizan has opened up in Hollywood with one of his guys. And the Bourbon Room is made to resemble the Bourbon Room from that show. And they do kind of a short version of Rock of Ages, but then they do a bunch of other stuff. They do a lot of like rock, and you can have dinner and cocktails and have fun while you're watching some great musical performances. So it's a cool place. So yes, that was me. Yeah.
That's awesome. Well,
I feel like I haven't done anything in my life. You guys.
I'm old. I got a lot more years on you, man. Gives me, you got.
We're just pulling. We're at the one outer layer of the onion right now, Craig. We got a lot of layers to unpeel with this group.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not going to be a producer. I mean, I'm past that. I'm not going to create, the companies that you guys have created, what was it that you revealed, Ted, on our last call?
Last time, let's see, it was DJ Assimilate.
Yeah.
Time before that, I was magician.
I'm a DJ.
I mean, I'm just getting started. These are actually some of the headphones I used to DJ with, by the way. No joke. And it feels weird because I have them on. Normally, I'd be like this.
Right,
so
exactly.
I can count it. Yeah. I'm a real DJ.
Real DJ.
DJ. Okay, guys, we're out of time. Any last plugs before we go?
No, guys. Hey, I love hearing all the new stuff about both of you. It's kind of fun, and I hope that everybody that's watching learns a little bit about either a loan program or more about Corona and about Craig, and just everybody know that we love helping our people. We love finding great deals for them in terms of finding great homes, finding great loans. We try to make the process fun as we're moving along, and I hope you get a sense of who we are, and hope you give us a call if you're in the market.
Well said.
Likewise.
All right. For Craig Yace, for Scott Benson, Real Estate Mortgage Insiders, you can have your cake and eat it too. We'll see you next week.